What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Demo Domuto. We back with another video today watching Call Me Arj. Sorry, Ultra Vegito. This load up, I can read the title. Ultra Gogeta. My fault. Ultra Gogeta surpasses Ultra Vegito. Ooh. Alright, what's Gogeta gonna do that Vegito can't do? Because naturally, I think the Vegito's transfusion is stronger, right? So let's see what Gogeta about to do. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and there you go.
Enjoy. Kazuya Mishima. So our story continues with the epic reveal of none other than the Metamorph fusion of Gogeta, showcasing an all-new form with blonde hair, complete with green seraphim eyes, as he would arise from the column of energy sprouting from what was formerly Vegito's grave, with his arms folded and a more than smug look on his face, as Devil Kazuya, in contrast, would be left short for words at what he would be witnessing, both in appearance and the sudden rebirth of energy he would be sensing. Cat got your tongue, eh? I don't blame you. Not every day you see the ultimate fusion warrior. As after showing off a confident smirk, Gogeta would be quick to then jump immediately forward in eager fashion, and land abruptly with his hands on his hips, grand standing in front of the devilish Kazuya. As with a calmness in his voice, Gogeta would let out, So, you're who's been giving Vegito all this trouble. You should be proud. This is the first time I've personally seen him lose. And for once, you actually look the part. Now, you're what I call a demon.
Yeah,
For a moment, there would be silence as Kazuya would stare blankly at the strange Saiyan in front of him, wondering what his words could mean. As finally Kazuya would question, Exactly why do you refer to yourself in third person, worm? Are you not the same Saiyan I just pummeled into the ground? You look the same. Even the energy signature is completely identical. How feeble must your species be to have lost your mind so easily? We look the same? But taking surprising offense to the notion, Gogeta's face would light up in surprise, as he would reply, You're basically calling me ugly, you know. I do not look like that guy. I'm literally dressed completely different. Silence! But not having any care for Gogeta's retort, holding his arms with a gruff tone, Kazuya would let out, Whatever you want to say, Saiyan. Your power level is unchanged, and that makes you as worthless as before. You may play dress-up as much as you like, but this battle is still already decided, dear puppy. Well, we'll just see about that. As undeterred, still smiling away, almost in excitement, Ultra Gogeta would return to fighting stance, with his fist clenched, as he would reply, If you think a fight is won by just power level, then you still have a lot to learn, old man. Let me show you how we do things in the future. The future, of course, referring to them being from the GT timeline, as Gogeta, now keen to prove himself, would immediately then blast forward with speed. But almost in a complete callback to Vegito, Gogeta's perfectly formed and swung right kick would slam hard right onto Devil Kazuya's skull, but ultimately wouldn't even budge on his neck an inch. Okay. As quickly ducking down and placing his hands together, Gogeta would then immediately switch to a different move in response. Try this then! Jumping straight up, pulling both hands behind his head like a sledgehammer and slamming that too right onto Kazuya's forehead, but crucially, with no reaction at all once again from the Emperor. Okay then. Now I kinda get why Vegito had a problem. What is this guy made of? As immediately now losing some of his confidence, Gogeta would come to terms with just why the God Killer was stopped so easily by Kazuya. But just as his attack would end, the Demon Emperor would leave no time to let things sink in, as instantly Kazuya would pull back his arm and... But as his powerful shotgun-like punch would fire out, interestingly, Gogeta would just about be able to dodge, and by the expression on his face, with not too much difficulty. Surprising Kazuya momentarily, who would notice this too. Leaving Gogeta with flair, like an athletics pro, to backflip backwards multiple times before landing a safe distance away again. A murmur of annoyance now on the transformed Kazuya's face as he would think internally, what just happened there? Every single one of my attacks has landed on the God Killer thus far. And now, suddenly he can dodge? Perhaps he truly is someone different. I don't know how, but whoever he is, he has a greater read and reaction on my movements. What's wrong? Not feeling quite as quick as you used to, old man? As Gogeta, now with a cocky expression, patting himself on the shoulder, would explain, I told you, we weren't the same. I might have the same power level, but that's where the similarities end. I fight different, defend different, and I've been watching you fight this whole time, downloading you. And unlike Vegito, I had the time to actually process it. You're going to be hard to beat, but so will I. Download me? Nonsense. But thoroughly unimpressed with the comment, Devil Kazuya's face would drop in anger for the insolence, his middle third eye beginning to glow wildly until... Download this dog! As violently and speedily as he shot Vegito, once more Devil Kazuya would make use of his laser beam, exploding outwards like an unstoppable ray of light aimed directly for the fused warrior. And within nanoseconds, that devastating stream of demonic energy would already be right in Gogeta's eyeline, right about to make unexpected impact like it did on Vegito until... Ha! You think that's going to work on me? You better think of something new. I saw this already! As once again, relying on Gogeta's knowledge from what he saw within Vegito, just at the last second, Gogeta would dodge, yet again with a beaming smile. How dare you talk to me? You should still be dead, imposter! As now fully beginning to lose his mind in his devil form, a real percentage of Kazuya's true power would begin to surface, as in a sudden barrage, his devil beam would begin firing in all directions, somehow all from the same one eye, as Kazuya's head would instead be moving so fast it would appear as if there were multiple after images. This isn't what I meant by new, Kazuya! This is just the same thing, but more of it! As continuing to enjoy himself, dodging in all sorts of ways acrobatically, in typical Gogeta fashion, harking back to the days of Fusion Reborn, no matter the number, Devil Kazuya's beams will be met by after images of Gogeta too, dodging each one. Too slow! As beams that would otherwise make contact would be just out of time, and they would phase through the already vanished Saiyan. But as he would reappear near the Mishima Tower, one beam would appear to have anticipated Gogeta's next location, already about to hit him until the fused warrior would once more show his tenacity and immediately vanish, leaving the devil beam to slice through Kazuya's own domain, slicing the building clean in half like it were a loaf of bread. And as the crumbling building would come down on itself for a thunderous crash, Gogeta would just watch on nearby at the destruction, commenting, "That was close. One wrong move, and that could have been me." With that observation made, the same would soon land. Right, enough of me on the back foot. Now it's my turn again. As having grown frustrated with Kazuya's barrage of attacks, Gogeta would decide to try an offense again. Since you won't show anything new, here's something Vegito could never show you. As suddenly lifting a lone right arm into the air, Gogeta would begin summoning energy, eventually culminating in what looks like a true rainbow of different energy colors, all forming together to gain a ball of energy within his palm. An energy unlike any ever seen in the demon realm, and one signature to Gogeta alone. Stardust Breaker! As immediately calling upon his legendary attack, the same one he used to stop Broly, with his arm swung straight back like a nuclear baseball, Gogeta would be ready to fire back at Kazuya. Immediately in the next panel, tossing it with such speed, its spherical shape would deform mid-air. Devil Kazuya would notice this immediately, instantly seeing the rainbow-colored attack hurtling right towards him. Be gone! But regardless, seeing Gogeta's attack as yet another meaningless attempt like the God Killer before him, Kazuya's Devil Beam would shoot out yet again, this time to destroy the incoming projectile. With his Devil Beam being so much faster, almost instantly it would make contact, but perhaps not in the way he would expect. As on closer inspection, Gogeta's Stardust Breaker, though smaller, weaker and slower, would not be pushed back at all nor detonated, but instead it would continue to move forward, almost disintegrating the demonic beam in the process. What? Shocking both Gogeta and Devil Kazuya, who both, it would seem, would be completely surprised by the turn of events. Leading to Kazuya having to think fast and move out of the way for the first time, watching the Stardust Breaker explode behind for a myriad of dancing colors. But as Devil Kazuya up top would stare down at the still sparkling, strange crater, he would begin to catch on that whatever that attack was, its energy was not ordinary. As with caution, he would comment, "What was that just now? The devil gene within me knew not to engage with it.
Yep.
It's like my body, moved by force. Something about this feels at odds with this realm." But while Kazuya would briefly be given some time to contemplate,
getting a little scared,
Gogeta would just stand on the ground watching and grunting, "Damn it, I missed. But let me see something. Hey old man, I've got more coming up for you!" Eventually, the fused warrior would then raise his power level all the way up, and Double Stardust Breaker! Now brandishing dual rainbow balls of energy, jumping up, Gogeta, despite his earlier comments, would attempt to fire two at the same time. Tossing them instantly one after the other at the levitating Kazuya. Look who has nothing new to show now! But seeing these from a mile away, with his superior speed, Devil Kazuya would once again move and dodge out of the way of both. But even seeing the Emperor forced to escape danger like this would be a sight in itself. How pointless. You're only wasting your own energy, young man. As once again, exploding in a riveting display of color behind Devil Kazuya, the Emperor would just smirk at the fruitless attempt. But as the smoke would rise in the distance, Gogeta would have time to think. Placing his hand on his chin, as the more Goku-like fusion would ponder. Hold on a second. In that whole fight with Vegito, as soon as he transformed, he tanked every attack, even Vegito's Godslayer blade. But now, all of a sudden, the Stardust Breaker is his limit.
That is weird.
And thinking deeper, Gogeta would then think back and reflect. The Stardust Breaker. Didn't it erase Janemba immediately back then? He was pure evil, pure dark energy, like a demon himself. This Devil G, could it be something similar? Even if it was, how the hell am I going to get one of these to hit? I can just about land a physical attack on him. Wait! But soon enough, a light bulb moment would occur within the fused warrior, staring deeply into his hands as he would begin. That energy of the Stardust Breaker! If I can use it in some other way, if I can control it, I could... But all thoughts would erase once a dark shadow would suddenly appear over Gogeta. And in his shocked expression, something bad would be right on top of him. Just as brain dead as the last one! As now, right on top, Devil Kazuya's domineering presence would immediately be locked and loaded to deliver a devastating punishment. And indeed, with Gogeta being so preoccupied, Kazuya's first hit would land on Gogeta's face, sending him back instantly. His face grimaced in pain, as blood would pour out of his nose. For now, the battle would now be going full circle to just as it was with Vegito. Now immediately shooting off far into the sky from the impact, Devil Kazuya would plant his feet and hands into the ground like a sprinter until... in a flash, he would make his move.
He's going crazy.
As with truly unbelievable speed, like a sniper from a million miles away, Kazuya's elbow would cut through the air and with demonic levels of accuracy, strike perfectly in Gogeta's solar plexus, knocking the Saiyan unconscious momentarily as his eyes would go blank and the wind would be knocked out of him. Of course, ending up finally exploding onto the hardened wall of a nearby gigantic mountain. His body not even seen, just a trail of wind. You may be different, but you're just as fun to beat to a pulp! How glorious! And true to his devilish appearance, Kazuya would not be done, turning to a blur as he would chase after with even more speed. But nevertheless, with a brief moment of peace, Gogeta's body would be seen imparted into the wall, almost crucified. I lost concentration, and I paid for it hard. Not even Omega Shenron ever had me this hurt. But eventually, briefly opening one of his eyes, unfortunately for him, the memories of the Shadow Dragon would be short-lived, once a shadow of darkness would come over his face once more. As with one gunshot-like move not being enough, brutally beating Gogeta to a pulp, Kazuya would arrive, now throwing a barrage of jabs that would strike Gogeta all over, his body crumbling the mountain to pieces more and more with every sinister blow. All while Devil Kazuya's full of joy countenance would yell, "This is what you get! This is your reward for talking to the soon-to-be devil of the demon realm! Know your place, dog!
Oh shit.
And as the scene would pan away, the destructive and never-ending assault would just continue on, causing explosions after explosion all over the large rock surface. In fact, I think you take these punches even better than the God Killer! As Kazuya, continuing to enjoy every second of this, would grin down at his helpless foe. Before stopping this momentary break to throw one more fist down. But this time, Gogeta would take his chance and escape instantly, springing high into the air with a twirl like a leapfrog. Now, levitating in the air at a safe distance, his body clearly damaged and face not much better. As struggling to open both eyes, he would just sigh in relief. That's enough, don't you think? Jeez, you've got some anger problems. As wiping away the blood from his face and getting himself back in order, Gogeta would then put the past behind him, saying, "No more mistakes. I've learned my lesson, demon. You want to hit me again, and it'll cost you. Mark my words." As now nonsensically smiling at his situation, with his emerald seraphim eyes gleaming away, Gogeta would continue, "Because this time, I am going to show you something new. Shut up!" But Devil Kazuya, being the rabid beast he is, would be having none of it, already descending down on Gogeta like a meteor, with his leg high up, ready to land his finishing axe kick, just as he did on Vegito before. Wait! What? Damn you, Saiyan! But in a sudden turn of events, Kazuya's fall would instantly be stopped, his own body fearful at what he would now be seeing down below, and his facial expression beyond annoyed. You really don't like this, do you, friend? As of course, once we would look from behind the Demon Emperor, Ultra Gogeta would be seen smiling with yet another Stardust Breaker in hand, almost wielding it like a threat to stave off his attacker. Smart, mortal. But you know as well as I, that won't be hitting me anytime soon. But laughing back in Kazuya's face, Gogeta would just ominously respond, "Oh yeah? Well, I can tell you right now, you might not be the target I'm hoping to hit." As unbelievably in a complete twist, Ultra Gogeta, in an almost suicidal move, would turn his Stardust Breaker back on himself, thrusting it into his own chest without fear nor hesitation. As he would scream, initially forcing it in deeper and deeper to pierce his skin and delve into his body. Soon, it would morph into a scream of pain, as perhaps a wrong move would be made, with the Saiyan now completely enveloped and surrounded by Stardust Breaker energy.
Oh shit.
And interestingly, it would be damaging Gogeta non-stop, as if he were a demon himself. What the hell? Gogeta! And inside the fused warrior's mind, Vegito would be just as shocked and confused as us, as immediately slamming his fist into his palm, he would showcase his disapproval. What's happening to me? But things would take a sudden turn from confusion to fear, as out of nowhere, just as Gogeta would strike himself, inside, Vegito and Vegito only would begin noticing his body start to smoke. A burning sensation building all over his torso as if he were about to be erased. Gogeta!
Was this your plan all along? The Stardust Breaker is destroying me because I'm evil!
And it wouldn't take long at all for the God Killer, his sharp mind, to know exactly what was going on. His own being and presence being pinpointed by the Stardust Breaker, destroying him from within, just like it had Janemba. As frustrated, he would look around and notice nothing would be happening to Yamoshi, as he would yell out,
Why only me? You literally killed all your friends and family! Your own partner! How the hell am I the only one burning here?
But in a comedic scene,
Evil to the soul.
Yamoshi would just close his eyes and fold his arms, replying,
Hey, nobody likes a snitch. But if you must know, I've had millennia now to repent for my sins. Those thousands upon thousands of demons I stopped from entering the mortal realm. Ever ring a bell? We are not the same, kid.
as the innocent Broly in the background would do nothing but shrug his shoulders.
So as usual, I'm on my own.
Come on, Vegito.
Gogeta! You aren't getting rid of me this easily, clown!
As now utterly furious, with the smoke more looking like steam from his boiling blood, Vegito would vow for this to not go the way it seems.
What?
But outside, things would be hotting up too, as Gogeta's self-destruction would continue to get more and more intense. His face and body now being lost in the light, the ball surrounding him would suddenly expand, even catching Devil Kazuya's shocked face within it too now, until... in a humongous explosion, the end result of Gogeta's gamble would reveal itself, and it would seem like it had not paid off. But as a huge dust cloud would now appear where Gogeta once was, from within it would seem at least one figure would shoot out of the smoke.
Idiot!
As unexpectedly, it would be none other than Vegito himself. Back again, somehow finding a way to escape before he suffered the same fate as Gogeta. Clearly annoyed as he would drag across the ground to stop himself.
You. Now you're back? What is going on here?
And Kazuya, turning his head, would take notice immediately. But it wouldn't be the only thing the Emperor would notice, as looking ahead, he would notice an energy signature still remained.
Now we're talking!
What is that?
As emerging in a shining bright white light, Ultra Gogeta would be back, and in an all-new form. His gamble coming off big, is now surrounded in a rainbow-like aura that is undeniably the same energy of the Stardust Breaker in his new energetic-like appearance. Stardust Gogeta would be born. With a grin, he'd just mutter,
A little bit of a rough ride, but we got here in the end. Now let's see you tag me now, demon! That energy! It can't be! He merged with it!
as immediately stumbling back, recognizing from the fearful sensation of Gogeta's energy alone what had just happened, Kazuya would realize how much the tables had turned. As Gogeta nonchalantly would just turn to Vegito and say,
Sorry about that, Vegito, but this just wouldn't work with someone like you inside me. Positive energy must erase negative after all. But feel free to just sit this one out anyway. It's over.
and as Vegito would watch on at Gogeta's new form calming down, a smile would begin to emerge on the God Killer's face, as he would respond,
Over, you say? Good luck now that you haven't even got my energy. But I suppose you have the rest. I hope this plan works for your sake, Gogeta. You mortals owe me an apology too.
As suddenly, amidst their reunion, a third voice would call out. But who?
What the fuck is that?
Damn,
Goku
say
relax.
As finally back, and also having to manually be kicked out of the fused body of Gogeta in order for him to use his Stardust Breaker form, Goku Black would return with untold changes after all this time. What? Who is that as well? As in a final awe-inspiring page, Devil Kazuya would now be faced with not one, not two, but three enraged Saiyan warriors. All of which technically are fusions, and one of which with a new form that could quite possibly end him. The former devil of the demon realm may have finally
nervous,
met
Kaiju.
a foe
Kaiju.
greater than
Yeah,
Lucy.
he should have been talking, brother.
But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag black in the comments down below and let me know just what the original God Killer has to show after all this time. Or just find
Fire video from CallMeARJ, as always, man. Make sure you hold on, first cut. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.